TDS has truly a lot of towers with all of them filling different roles. Some provide early game, helping you to defend early stages for the game. Then eco towers like Cowboy or Farm come into play, generating you income for the start till the end, and with earned cash from them, you purchase more expensive DPS towers that are built to demolish enemies and bosses. Speaking of DPS towers, there are a lot of them as well, with each having its pros and cons. For example, Accelerator carries out a high DPS focused laser that melts enemies, but as an exchange has to reload every once and then, making him inconsistent. Engineer utilizes sentries to deal a lot of damage with explosives as a bonus, but has to spend time to build them, meaning initial DPS is not that great. And then we have Gatling Gun, a mega machine with close to 1000 DPS that you can fully control, equipped with piercing, infinite range, stun immunity, and all detections. The only weaknesses are one placement limit and expensive cost, but this shouldn't be a major concern considering how good the rest of its kit is. Right, well, unfortunately it hasn't seen much usage in past few months and people prefer to use other DPS options. But why? Was it meta shift or a big nerf? Or outclassing? Stay with this video and find out. The gun was firstly teased at September 16, 2024 with a trailer. It has shown that Gatling Gun was a first-person shooter tower where you control a massive turret. People were shocked. This was never seen before in tower defense Roblox genre, at least I think so. A day later, Wednesday was leaked to be a Gatling Gun release update. And so, it arrived. Gatling Gun on release was a true beast, having 1000 DPS enabled it to shred everything. Combine this with stun immunity and infinite range, and it was understandable why this tower broke the meta. Hidden and flying detections also allowed it to be extremely versatile. People firstly questioned its strength, me included, but quickly realized how strong it actually is. One another thing it has is piercing, which allows it to shred crowds, which is not common with DPS towers, with most of them being built mostly for bosses without any additional crowd control. And having only one placement limit actually kind of benefited it, as you can save a lot of space for other towers when with towers like Minigunner, you have to spam them to achieve great results, sacrificing space. And so Gatling Gun quickly dominated the meta, with some claiming its tiers above towers like Commander and DJ, proving how powerful this machine was. Whenever a game has an overpowered troop or thing added, it is usually nerfed very quickly to stop it from breaking the meta. This is not always the case, but most of the time it is. So, you would expect Gatling Gun to get nerfed fairly quickly, considering how much it power crept the meta, right? Well, too bad. It wasn't nerfed until 2 months later, right after Hexcape event has ended. Developers actually knew how powerful the Gatling Gun was, as it was banned in Night 3 of the Hexcape. The reason for not nerfing it fast enough is unknown. But yeah, the actual nerf arrived at 27 of November. Long story short, the tower was more expensive and dealt less damage. According to sources, it lost around 300 DPS on last level. Losing around 30% of your DPS is a very big deal, and it showed, as Gatling Gun's popularity fell off dramatically. It quickly became outclassed by other options in both DPS and crowd control department, and many people claimed that it fell off. Some people stated that the tower was still S tier and people overreacted to the nerf. But alas, Gatling Gun's prime was over. However, the devs tried to revive it. Just a week later, the gun received some decent buffs, making it not as abysmal to use. Its DPS went by around 100 on max level. After that buff, Gatling Gun was okay-ish choice, with its main niche now being challenge maps on maps like Infernal Abyss. This is because these maps have a lot of enemies thanks to all path modifier, spawning enemies on all paths. If you add challenges like Oops, All Slimes or Legion, things can get really badly without a high DPS crowd control tower, and Gatling Gun was the answer. Increased eco in the challenges, as well as hidden and flying detection from level 0 due to FPS mode made it an even more appealable choice. But even there, it faced some competition from towers like Mortar with its insane crowd control potential. Outside of that, it wasn't used much due to other options still being better than it. For example, Helicopter, which was stun immune like Gatling Gun, had infinite range like Gatling Gun, and had missiles as crowd control measure which could hit leads. In the end, while a buff did help out it a little, it still wasn't that powerful compared to other options, and most importantly, itself pre-nerf. Gatling Gun started to fall off once again, and slowly, more and more people complained about how weak it was. Eventually, balancers of the game has caught the issue and basically confirmed that the gun will soon be getting a buff. Later on, they released a poll where they asked opinion of TDS population about what Gatling Gun should be. Most people voted for DPS over crowd control option. Spoiler alert, this poll meant nothing at the end and crowd control of Gatling wasn't touched. Either way, on June 11, 2025, Gatling Gun got yet another buff. It got a lot more cheaper on most levels and damage on final level got increased severely. However, Gatling Gun also got an indirect buff. This is Hacker, a professional hacker that hacks. She has the ability to clone towers. Applying to cooldown, at max level she can clone up to 2 towers at the same time. Placement limit of her is 2, so you can have up to 4 clone towers. I think you know what that means. You can place for additional Gatling Guns. And in quad, it's 20 Gatling Guns in total, which is fucked up. This is honestly very fun and actually strong, with 20 Gatling Guns shredding bosses and everything pretty much. Look at the nuclear crocodile. So yeah, Hacker provides the gun with insane synergy, and together they are a great couple. Now, this buff and Hacker release was very short from now, so I have no idea how much this change will impact Gatling Gun and whether it will become meta again. Only time will show. That was pretty much the entire history of the gun up till this point. Overall, a very fun tower. Subscribe if you liked the video, and if you didn't, you lied. Like, why did you watch till the end then? Anyway, bye.